Welcome to episode 6 of No Boundaries. I'm your host, Dana Boyle. This week we have UVA alum women's lacrosse player Sammy Mueller and also current Northwestern player. Let's get started. First question, let's get started. Thanks for joining, Sammy. So let's talk about your playing days at UVA and then that transition to Northwestern. How has that been? How are you liking Evanston? Just give us a little rundown.
Yeah, I mean, I love my experience at UVA, both athletically and academically. I was able to get an incredible degree while playing for one of the top programs in the country. And I mean, I met and played with so many incredible people and made lasting, lifelong memories. So Charlottesville will always have a place in my heart. And then the transition to Northwestern, it's honestly been a little weird, kind of coming in, feeling like a freshman again, almost, where I'm at a new school, new program, and really almost kind of feeling like I had to prove myself again. But at the other sense, I was coming in with 3.5 years of collegiate experience, and was one of the oldest on the team. So it was kind of a veteran in that sense. So that kind of dynamic was a little weird, but everyone on the team was so welcoming and really made me feel like a part of the family from the get-go. So that was awesome. So
That's awesome.
in terms of that sense, the transition was pretty seamless.
I can't imagine coming into a new school during a pandemic. How I've heard from some other student athletes of how like their team has welcomed them in. And of course, you've done great things at Northwestern. So what were some ways that the current team made you feel part of the team during your transition?
Yeah, I mean, definitely entering during a pandemic was unique, especially the first couple of weeks. We were in small groups, so I didn't even really get to meet the entire team for probably about a month in, which was funny. But just in my small group, getting to know them pretty well and kind of getting some friends off the bat there was awesome. And everyone, we did some Zoom calls, and especially in the summer too, everyone was just so welcoming. And once you finally got to meet them in person, it was just awesome. Like seeing who they were kind of off a screen. And yeah, so just kind of getting to know them was pretty awesome.
Lots of screen time these days, so it's a challenge for a lot of us. But that's great. I'm so glad that you welcomed with open arms, and you've done great things there. So I know you have a Northwestern connection because of your sister, Allie. Was that a big factor in wanting to take that extra year at Northwestern?
For sure. I mean, seeing and hearing about Allie's experience here really kind of gave me a sense of familiarity with the program and allowed me to get a feel for the coaches, the team, the culture. And it really gave Northwestern a leg up because you, especially going through that kind of re-recruiting process, you couldn't really kind of get a feel for too much of like the team's culture because you couldn't see the campuses in person. You couldn't meet people in person. So definitely having that sense of familiarity and having that family tie was huge and was pretty pivotal in my decision.
So a player that you've loved watching this college season who's not on your team?
Oh, okay. I definitely have to say Gabby Rosenzweig from Duke. She's a good friend of mine from back home, and we've played together growing up. And I loved watching her and play at UPenn and seeing the joy and passion she has for playing the game is awesome. And then just seeing her transition to this new school and the impact that she's had at Duke in just a short amount of time has been awesome to watch.
That's great. She's a great pick and a great person. Did you bounce things off of her since you know her from high school? Were you guys able to go through that journey together and spend your extra year at another school? Was that something that you guys talked about?
Yeah, no, we definitely were in contact during that transfer portal period and kind of seeing how she was doing with the process, and she would check in on me. And yeah, it was awesome to be able to kind of bounce ideas off of each other and kind of compare and contrast where we were in the process.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a Northwestern teammate who you feel like has really eased your transition into the team?
I mean, it would definitely be my roommate, Lindsay McCone. She's the other fifth year on the team, and she made the transition so seamless. She was so welcoming from those Zoom calls in the summer to when I got here. And then she really just showed me the ropes at Northwestern and introduced me to everyone on the team. So definitely Lindsay.
So I got to ask, what is it like playing for Kelly?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it's so fun. She just has such like an attention for detail and a competitiveness that really rubs off on you as a player. And I mean, it's no wonder why she was so successful as a player and so successful as a coach now. She makes practices fun and intense, and I've just learned so much from her in a short amount of time.
Yeah, you can see it on the field when, she's addressing you guys as a team or she's doing an interview. She just has such a love for lacrosse, and it very easily translates because you guys win a lot. So those two things make sense.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. So what is your favorite vacation destination?
This is easy. West Hampton. Me and
Okay.
my family every summer go there, and it's kind of been a tradition since I can remember. And I love the beach. I could live there all the time, so it's easily West Hampton.
I would agree. If you weren't playing lacrosse, what sport would you play?
Definitely soccer. I played club soccer all growing up, played it all throughout high school, and absolutely loved it. And yeah, so if I wasn't playing lacrosse, it would definitely be soccer.
So if I got to spend one day in Evanston, what should I do? Where should I go? Should I go to a certain restaurant? What's the necessary must see or must do?
Um, I would say my favorite restaurant is this place called Mid Kitchen. It's a couple blocks from my apartment, and they have the best like brunch. They have the best omelets and hash browns. So I'd definitely say start there. And then honestly, the path by the lakeshore, taking a walk or a run there is awesome. It has incredible views of Chicago. You can see the entire skyline from there. And then a lot of my teammates also like to do homework or listen to music and stuff on the rocks by the lakeshore. So that's cool. And then honestly, I would say take a tour of the Ryan Fieldhouse facility. It is truly breathtaking, and it's one of a kind.
That's awesome. I bet you love that playing in the winter.
Yeah.
Being outside.
A nice heated indoor.
Yeah. I remember the few times that we played at Northwestern when I was at UVA, it was always in April. And I specifically remember this one time, it was the end of April. The conference tournament was structured differently at the time when I was in college. So we would play the ACC tournament and then go play at Northwestern. And it was like April 25th, and there were heaters on the sidelines, and not a single Northwestern player was wearing like long sleeves or pants, and we were all like bundled up. Like I think I had gloves on and like ear warmers. These girls are tough because we're freezing.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it snowed like 2 weeks ago here. It's definitely toughened me up.
What significance do the rocks have? I hear people write messages on them. Is that true?
Yeah, I think you can paint the rocks. I know a lot of teams will come down and paint the rocks. I think the field hockey team painted a rock saying like the time is now with an NU. So you can kind of paint little slogans, and it's just a fun activity to do.
Is it similar to painting Beta Bridge in Charlottesville?
I think so. Yeah, but there's a lot more rocks there, so it's like you don't have to kind of camp out overnight and fight to paint the bridge.
What is your favorite lacrosse memory? It can be on and off the field. It can be at Northwestern. It can be at UVA. What is it?
Can I give one from both?
Sure.
All right, so UVA, I would definitely say my favorite memory was this past February or last February of my senior year. We took a trip to California to play Stanford and Cal, and it was so cool being able to experience another city and getting to spend time with your teammates and your families, and it was just an awesome experience. And we got to fit that in right before the pandemic kind of shut down our season and everything else. So I'm so grateful we were able to get that trip in, and it's something I'll remember for a lifetime. And then at Northwestern, it's easily winning the Big Ten championship this past weekend. I mean, there's so much adversity that we had to kind of jump through with COVID protocols, and just we put in so much hard work. So to see that kind of materialize in a championship was just something so special and something I'll remember.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think it's any athlete's goal to win a conference championship and then a NCAA title. So that was an awesome game. You played very well, and it's been really fun to watch you at Northwestern. Obviously, you're a UVA alum, and so am I. And so I have that, Wahoo pride. So I'm always cheering for you. And so I had to make the adjustment, and I had to cheer for you at Northwestern, but I think we're all really proud of you. So congratulations. That's awesome. And your hopes will stay alive for the NCAA tournament. We'll find out on Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I have a fellow Wahoo here, and she is going to comment on Bodo's Bagels, and this is going to go at Anish, at Kark, and at Quint, because they roasted me. So what do you think about Bodos? You can be honest.
All right. In one sense, I agree with them. I'm a New Yorker, so I
Okay.
am kind of a snob when it comes to bagels, but it is such a staple in Charlottesville. I mean, we used to go there for our pregame meals before every home game, and it honestly hits the spot. So it always has a place in my heart, and it's a staple in Charlottesville. So I'll give it to you there that it is kind of worth the hype, and you should definitely visit it if you're in town.
Manish, Carquint, did you hear Sammy? Pay attention.